What's up, everybody? You know who this is. It's Poetic Old Soul. And this right here is a video response to one of the boys. Shout out to you, my dear. One of the boys. And she just posted a video called First Time. And she was explaining. I'm sorry, I wet my whistle. She was talking about her first experience with a girl. Now, personally, I told her straight up, I wouldn't consider that a first time, especially after how you were feeling when that thing. I shouldn't say that. That stud was all feeling on you in her hoopty, who needed to go on Pimp My Ride when it was on the air at that time. Yeah, check out my homegirl's video, one of the boys. It's called First Time, and yeah, so now I actually originally did this video, but I didn't post it. I didn't like the way it looked and everything else. It was too long, and so I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. I'm going to be talking about my first time with a girl. All right. How old was I? This was back in, oh God, 10 years ago, you guys. 10 years ago, I was 20. Okay, I'm 31 now, going on 32. I was 22, and I was going to this center that I know I told y'all about many videos ago called the Solana Pride Center. And we had a youth group. And we met up every Thursday night. And there was this chick, I'm not going to say her name. She was a Latina, but she was more of a nerdy type chick. And she had these Coke bottle glasses, and yeah, but she was pretty cool. She was, she was laid back and chill and all that. And then one night she was like, I mean, we always met up, of course it was the youth group. We all met up and we talked and we chilled and everything else. So one night, just out of the blue, she was like, "Hey Tiff, I want to invite you over to my house. My dad's not gonna be home, yada yada yada. We can just chill and have some wine and watch a few movies, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh my God, is a chick actually inviting me over to her place? Really?" So I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So I I came over to her house. Her dad wasn't home. Her sister wasn't home. And we it was a very weird night. It was. At first, one of our other friends came over and she was all drunk and depressed and all that, and we were like, ah. Well, actually, I picked her up, and then we were, Coke bottle glasses, and we were like, let's drop her off so me and you can have time to ourselves. So, after I dropped my other friend off, who came to the youth group and everything else, we were all like this big clique. But anywho, me and Coke bottle glasses. I need to figure out a code name for her. We chilling and and drinking wine and coloring. I know that sounds so juvenile. Coloring. But we had a little fun, just coloring. But we had a few glasses of wine, and next thing I knew, she kissed me. And that wasn't my first kiss though, because prior to that, I already kissed two other chicks. Well, they kissed me actually, but it was awesome. It was bloody awesome. But Coke bottle glasses kissed me, And we decided to watch a movie. And it was Amadeus. And we were just chilling on the couch. We all sitting together, all cuddling and shit. And she showed her breast. I showed my breast. And, and we're all, just getting all hot and heavy. And next thing I knew, we ended up doing the damn thing on her dad's bed. I know. But it was weird though. It was like she didn't know what she was doing, and then I was, oh my gosh, yeah. 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 I wouldn't say it was good. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just yeah, she was feeling on me. I was digging it, and she was doing stuff to me. Next thing I knew, I was doing stuff to her, and went down on her, and yeah, it was, yeah. So um, afterwards, it just, I don't know, it turned bad. I mean, she acted all weird and strange and funny style and, all covering herself. I'm like, what is wrong with her? She was just acting weird. And to make this particular story short, all right, I asked her, do you regret what happened? And she was like, no, I don't regret it. So the next time we went to the youth group, all of a sudden she comes out as bisexual, and I'm like, what? I don't have anything against bisexuals. You know what I'm saying? I support the bisexual community 110%. Y'all know that. Most of y'all do. But at that time, I was like, wait a minute. We just did our thing a few nights ago, and then all of a sudden she comes out as bisexual. We all thought it was a joke. We were like, what? And yeah, but I couldn't figure out why she was acting distant and funny, and I was like writing her letters, and I was just like trying to get her attention. She's all ignoring me and talking about she likes somebody else and all that other shit. So a few months, passed, and we became cool again. So I spent the night at her house once again. This time her dad was home. And so she was all showing me her tarot cards and her journal, and I don't know why she showed me her journal. She's like, I write in my journal every few seconds, like Twitter, before Twitter, every few minutes and blah, blah, blah. So I spent the night. I slept in her bedroom. She slept in her sister's bedroom. Her sister was always a no-show, so I woke up. It was cold as fuck. It was cold. It was so fucking cold. I was like, man, these motherfuckers don't know how to turn on a freaking heater. And I looked down and I saw her journal. I think you guys know where this is going to go next, right? I know I should have not looked in her journal, but I did anyway. I was like, fuck it. I want to read what happened on that particular night when me and her did our thing. So I read her journal entries, and mind you, if you looked at her journal, you would think that she invented Twitter because she was updating like every few minutes, okay? So, one of the journal entries was like, oh, I'm meeting up. Well, a friend of mine from the youth group is meeting up with me, and she's gonna be chilling with me, and her name is Tiffany, and I think she's really cool, and I think I like her, and all that, blah blah blah. A few minutes later, she was like, I had too much to drink, and me and her, we had sex, and you know what? I realized that I don't think I like her. She weighs over 400 pounds, and she is a fat chick. I mean, she is huge. She is so, in bold letters, huge. In caps, too. Fat chick. She's such a fat chick. And I'm like, oh my God. At that point, At that point, I was ready to fuck that bitch up. I was ready to fuck her up, okay? I was ready to whoop her ass. But I couldn't. And I didn't have a ride home. For some reason, her dad didn't want to give me a ride home or some bullshit. I don't know, some weird shit. And, I couldn't even look at her in her face with those fucking thick Coke bottle glasses. I couldn't look at her, talking about, you want some, chocolate chip pancakes? I couldn't even eat them. I was so fucking heated. I had to call one of my best friends to pick me up. Alright, I didn't talk to her for a few weeks, and she called me and she was like, what's wrong? How come I was wondering what's going on. I haven't heard from you in a few weeks. And then I basically called her out about the journal entries. And I said, I know, I should have not looked in your diary, but, that was fucked up what you said. And she was like, I don't feel that way now. And I'm like, but still, man, that was, you knew it was my first time, and, you knew what you were getting into before you got into it, and you knew my ass was big before we did what we did, okay? If you were trying to figure out about your sexuality, whether you were bisexual or a lesbian, and if you wanted to just fuck, then just let me know. Tell me so. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? I would have said yes or no. I told her ass straight up, don't use me as a fucking taste tester to see if you like pussy or dick or both. You feel me? I told her that shit. Excuse me. And she was like, yes, I know, but, I honestly was expecting an apology, but she was like, and I told her, I'm sorry, I apologize for looking in your personal thoughts. And she was just like, I know what I said, and I'm not going to apologize for what I said because those are my personal thoughts. And I'm like, okay. Do you have anything else to say? I said, no. And I hung up in her face, and I didn't speak to that bitch ever again. But a few years later, I did see her with a man. I'm like, okay, she really did decide on what she likes and who she likes. I was like, oh, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. I'm with my husband. I'm like, wow, okay, all right, that's cool, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, that was my first time, you guys. That was my first time. But did I have a good second time? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I sure did. And this time it was a sister. Yeah. I was having one of those moments where they have those quotes, once you go black, you never go back. Yeah, my second time was with a sister, and I didn't turn back. Don't worry, I did dated a few other females that were outside of my race, but I don't know. I did had a good second time. I ain't gonna lie. She had a tongue ring and everything. Woo! So yeah, that was my first time. And if you want to reveal your first time or whatever, you can post a response video. You know what I'm saying? Just click on the comment box. They'll show a little link, and then you post a response video. Alright? And that's all I got to say, because I know I made this video pretty fucking long. Mwah! Poetic Old Soul signing out. And yeah, peace.